Welcome to the Chuck Norris RESTful API test skill in the Alexa SDK v2 from Jamie's Dev Shed. What would you like?
Tell me a joke.
Okay. Here is what I got back from my request. Chuck Norris drinks napalm to quell his heartburn.
Tell me a joke.
Okay. Here is what I got back from my request. Chuck Norris can instantiate an abstract class.
Hi there, Jamie again. And today I wanted to do a quick video showing how you should be, accessing data and making requests to online, APIs or web services through the version 2 of the Alexa SDK. If you're familiar with this process, it's usually called RESTful API, and you're doing it in version 1, you'll notice that your code probably isn't working when you port it over to the version 2 of the SDK. So yeah, I wanted to quickly show it off today, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So first of all, let me explain what you just saw. I basically found any old API. It happened to provide Chuck Norris jokes because that's still a thing. And yeah, ironically, the second joke was actually computer science related. That was not planned, I can assure you. But yeah, that was written with the SDK v2. And what are we doing here? So we've got the launch request handler, so that just says welcome to the skill. That's not too exciting. But things get a little bit more interesting at the get joke handler. So what are we doing? Well, this looks a bit different. We've got async handle, and then we have await HTTP get. But what we're basically saying is that instead of the older method with callbacks, we're actually going to wait. It says it await over here until this asynchronous process has finished processing, as in when we've got the response from the API, that's when we'll continue, and then we'll do our thing. So you can see here, we call HTTP get, then that calls this function over here, and then this is the host, and get a random joke from the Chuck Norris database. I believe that's what it stands for. Again, we're doing similar stuff in terms of like processing the data once we get it back, but it's different because as I said, callbacks aren't going to work. We need to do it asynchronously, and that's all done through the power of promises. But what a promise is basically saying is it's like it's a promise. It's saying that we are gonna return something at the end of this process or whatever we're doing. So we set up this promise, but all we really care about over here is the resolve over here. So you can see here, the return data, that's what we get back from the API, because over here, it starts off in chunk, and it goes into return data, and then, similar to what we were doing in the old way, we're passing it into JSON, so JSON.pass, we're resolving it, and then, bam, this pops back over here into response. So let me repeat. The code almost like stops running until this bit has finished, until the promise has been fulfilled and we've returned the data, or we've returned the promise. So this ends up going in over here into response. Oh, great. This ends up going into response, and then we just take it apart over here. So response.value.json. So if I do, if you want to see what the response looks like, console.log response. Go back. Let's go over here to the test simulator, and I'm just basically going to copy this request because I was testing this before. Tell me a joke. It sends in this request, so let me just copy this request. We'll make a new test event with it. So I'll do configure test events, paste it over here, joke request. Makes sense. Hit save, and then we'll test it. Hit test. So looking at the actual response, you can see Alexa is saying, okay, here's what I got back from the request. Chuck Norris can remember the future, which is being defined over here, as I mentioned before. And now if we actually check the logs or the console, just scrolling down, because as I said, we're printing these now, so this is what we get back. We get type, success, the value, So it's got an ID of 601, and the joke is Chuck Norris can remember the future. And there's categories apparently. I don't know. Look up the API. I just went for it. And that's what we're doing. So we're doing response.value.joke, because that's in response. So yeah, take the variable dot value dot joke, and that's how that's going in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh my god. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see here, rather than using callbacks, we're going for more of an asynchronous approach. If you want to try something similar, feel free to check out the description. I'll post the code somehow. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment or something. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.